Susan, go ahead and you can take it.
Okay, guys, can you see me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we can see you.
Okay, let me just tell you that I am at the site of the crash. You can see it from my perspective. If you see some white smoke there on that hillside, that is the crash that we're talking about. I talked very briefly to a young man who's now walking away from me, but he apparently witnessed the crash. He heard a sound that he thought was perhaps a jet engine that was in trouble, but in fact it was this helicopter. So he came out to see what happened. And Gavin, tell me exactly what you saw.
I saw like a lot of I heard a lot of noise, and then I saw a bunch of paramedics, police, firemen all rushing to the scene, and then so when I came out, I saw smoke on the hill, but it wasn't like a big black cloud of smoke, it was just gray. And then I saw like everything rushing to the scene, and then we thought that the water just exploded.
Well, so meantime, you heard something first that drew your attention, correct? Tell me about that.
No, it was just like, it sounded like a jet, like a military plane, but then it wasn't exactly like an explosion sound, but it was like a loud boom.
But helicopters are not uncommon in this area, so you must have heard something, perhaps maybe something that suggested it was engine trouble? I mean, it sounded louder than normal. Is that what you're suggesting?
Because when like the fires were here, there was a bunch of helicopters going back and forth, so I know what a helicopter sounded like. It sounded like a helicopter, but it sounded like a jet. Most like it was loud, so
louder than normal.
Calabasas confirmed it.
Who knows whether that suggests that maybe there was an engine trouble. How did you respond when you found out who was believed to be on that helicopter?
I went inside and told my dad what was happening. I told my friends like, oh, there's all this stuff happening, because like some of my friends live in my neighborhood, and so then they were like, oh, well, we think it's probably a
now
car
we can
crash or
hear. We
something,
could not
but
hear
then-
Liz before.
So I just kind of let it go by as usual, and then I was listening to the police scanner, and then they said it was an aircraft.
Did somebody?
But Gavin, once you found out it was Kobe Bryant on that,
I wasn't exactly concerned. I mean, like I was concerned, but more my friends, because my friends, that's like their role model at school for Kobe Bryant. But I mean, yeah.
So their response was what? Your response was what?
I just like
Disbelief?
Yeah, I didn't feel good. My stomach hurt.
Okay, well, Gavin, don't go away. Hopefully we'll get to talk with you again. But you're looking straight at the crash scene, and you can see that there's still people up there on the hill, and it is clear that if you were aboard that helicopter, 5 people aboard, no one survived, and now, of course, we're learning that Kobe Bryant was above. It could be are we hearing this report that it's his personal helicopter? Is that correct, Alex and Christine? Now I'm not hearing you guys. So I'm not sure if you guys can still. Okay. Okay.
Part of his way of
Okay.
life.
Should we?
From Newport to Los Angeles, Fort Gaines. So it's no surprise to hear of Kobe Bryant in a helicopter. It's part of his life, his lifestyle. We do know we should repeat that as we look at this live picture here of Calabasas, that Kobe's wife Vanessa was not on board that helicopter, but 4 others were, and I think that we want to remind everybody that there are 4 others who are on board that helicopter as well, and I have friends from Newport texting me names and asking me names of people that they knew were very close to Kobe and could have been with him or not. So this is a tragedy that on a personal level affects people in our neighborhood, our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones, as we wonder who else was on board,
Right.
and we send love and condolences to their family members as well.
But at least according to TMZ, we do not believe, as Christine just said, that Vanessa Bryant or Kobe's other 4 daughters were on that helicopter. That, of course, makes you think of them. You know, these daughters who just completely idolize their father. You know, he was meant so much to so many in the Southern California community, but to them, he is their father. And he's been so active with girls basketball, which has been such a meaningful thing to so many women in sports, that Kobe has really pumped up and propped up and brought more respect and attention to women's basketball. And you think of those teams, he called it the Mama Mentality Academy, and he would have these girls basketball clinics for people out in Orange County. And man, you think about those girls.
And Alex, you make a very good point, because as we as Laker fans, Kobe Bryant fans, watch this news coverage here, we're keeping in mind that, as you said, a wife has lost her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Little girls, daughters have lost their father.
Right.
That makes this tragedy so much more. And on a personal level, if anybody's lost a loved one in an accident, which I have, because my father died in a scuba diving accident, you know that suddenness of someone not coming home for dinner that night, that suddenness of your world coming to a complete halt. So to the family of Kobe Bryant, his wife, his children, their extended family, we send our thoughts and warmth.
And some news just coming in from the FAA identifying that the chopper that crashed was a Sikorsky S-76 helicopter that was owned by Kobe Bryant. It was his personal helicopter that he used so often to travel throughout Southern California and other areas, and it went down. Clearly, when you look at the scene there and you look at pictures from when this crash happened, a foggy morning throughout Southern California. That's an area I grew up about 10 minutes from where this crash happened. It's an area with a lot of hills. We do not know what caused. Right now, the FAA is saying it was unknown causes, in quotes, in terms of what caused this crash to happen.
You know, as we work in the news business, I'm sure you're like me. We get up in the morning, we start checking social media to see what's going on in Southern California. And I saw a friend of mine who was working this morning posting about a helicopter crash, so I knew it would be something to cover in the news.
Right.
You and I have the day off. It's Grammy Sunday, so probably you're going to go about your day and watch the Grammys tonight, me as well. And I get this call from Fox 11 that we think Kobe Bryant was on board this helicopter. Literally, I was absolutely just shaking, just shaking. He is somebody that has touched our lives as a player, then as a businessman, then winning an Oscar.
Right.
And I think that for so many people, whether you're a Laker fan, basketball fan or not, you saw him in so many different ways. I emceed an event with him as a businessman just 2 years ago. He was at a home in Newport Beach. He lived so close, he actually walked to the location for the event. And it was a business conversation, not necessarily a basketball conversation, but I think Kobe is that type of person who applied all of his basketball training and his tools and dedication to the business world as well.
Well, and Christine, I'm interested in your insight as somebody who knows Kobe, the man, a little bit. So many of us know Kobe, the basketball player, or what was he like as a guy?
Look, I'm not going to pretend to have been a personal friend.
Right.
I'll say that I did a lot of segments of Wednesday's Child with him where you got to see him as a person giving his time to a child. So to me, that speaks volumes that somebody would, you know, be willing to partake in something like that and share just the power that he has in a child's eyes. His last year of his last game, that around that time we did our last Wednesday's Child segment with him, and it was a wonderful chance to sit down with him as he was exiting the court in his days as a basketball player. I just feel like I feel devastated because I feel like, I don't want to say I've lost a friend, but I lost a career colleague, somebody. We emceed a homeless event together. We emceed
I think we
the business event. I feel like he's somebody I lived my career with.
Right. You know, and I think I've often said, to me, the three most beloved figures in Southern California, the sort of Mount Rushmore of Southern California icons, are Vin Scully, Magic Johnson, and Kobe Bryant. People that transcend everything, universally known, universally liked, and have become such extraordinary figures in the lives of so many. And the fact that Kobe was so strong and young and doing so well in this post-basketball career, I think, is what makes this so shocking. You know, to literally come out of nowhere. And it reminds all of us also about our own, about the fact that life can be so short.
Right. Now, I'm sure your phone's been blowing up. My phone is as well. We want to let people know that in Leimert Park, they're already planning a candlelight vigil tonight in Leimert Park at 5 p.m. So for those of you, our friends who want to come together and to unite and to be together, we want to let you know that there is a vigil tonight. Okay, we have this terrible news that has just come in here to Fox 11. TMZ confirming that one of Kobe Bryant's daughters, Gianna, was on board that helicopter that has crashed.
Gianna, known as Gigi, was 13 years old.
So we have been hearing about 5 people on board. We have been told from TMZ that Vanessa, his wife, was not on board that helicopter. But now this news that one of his daughters, Gianna Bryant, was on the helicopter. TMZ confirming that.
And according,
the heartbreak for Vanessa. The heartbreak for Vanessa.
And according to TMZ, what they were doing today, they were on that helicopter on their way to the Mamba Academy for basketball practice, the Mamba Academy in Thousand Oaks today. So they were heading, we don't know if they took off in Orange County or not, at Kobe's home, headed towards there. And then, you know, and Liz, we bring back in Liz Habib into our conversation, who's in Miami for Super Bowl coverage. And Liz, we just learned that his daughter was among those who died. Talk for a moment, I know you've done some reporting on this, about Kobe's extraordinary love and embrace of the women's basketball game and his daughters and making them better.
Right.
Can we go on the set It's easier for everybody to work out there if we can.
With the girls, bringing them to the games. When he brought Gigi, the last time he brought Gigi to a Lakers game, they sat right there, front and center. LeBron ran over, said something to Kobe, said hi to Gigi. Gigi got to meet all the big athletes. She was always right there with him because I think that we all expected Gigi to be one of the next big WNBA stars. We just couldn't see it any other way, that the daughter of Kobe Bryant would carry that mantle. We were certain that he may not have had a son, but he had Gigi who could do that. Let me bring Pablo Alsina in, because Pablo has been around too and covered Kobe and been around for a lot's gone on in his career as well.
Liz, heartbroken in every which way, especially with what you're saying. Was Gianna in the helicopter also? Has that been confirmed? The last time I interviewed Kobe Bryant, I have to share this story. It was at a WNBA game. I never get starstruck, ever. I meet famous people all the time, and I met Kobe, and I was awestruck. I mean, he has this essence about him. But next to him was his daughter, Gianna. And we were at the WNBA game, and typical Kobe fashion, I asked Gianna, who's the best player in the WNBA? Without missing a beat, she goes, I am, and I will be. She's just like her daughter. I'm beyond sad for Kobe, heartbroken, her daughter there also. We're here in Miami. As soon as we hear the news, elevator's door open, and this guy saying, did you see that he was in tears, and he wasn't even a Lakers fan.
No, this is the type of person Kobe is. It transcends. This is a global superstar with name recognition all over the world, who developed a brand that other athletes aspired to get to. That's who Kobe Bryant was, and he reached his brand out. He went, as you know, won an Oscar in the movies. He was doing podcasts for kids. He was working with Wall Street investors. We all expected, and he talked about it often. In fact, there's a podcast not done too long ago, I think just a couple weeks ago, done with a former teammate of his, where he talks about how he was coming out with he's going to have a major movie coming out. So Kobe developed himself far beyond basketball,
Yeah, his...
Yes. Liz, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to chat with you because we've talked in the makeup and hair room together about Kobe Bryant and Vanessa and what it's like to be a basketball wife. And I know that you always went out of your way to say hello to Vanessa, to include her in the conversation and wherever you were. And I'm just thinking of the heartbreak of a wife to lose her husband, a mother to lose her child. I just can't imagine the pain and suffering and heartbreak for Vanessa right now. And I just wanted you to reflect, perhaps, if you could, for a minute on some words of thought for Vanessa.
You know, Vanessa was really strong to be by Kobe's side through so many things, to be the wife of someone so famous, and Vanessa in her own right had gotten such notoriety. But all I can ever really think about with Vanessa is how she was with those kids and how she would bring them to the games and how every game she had those two so perfect. They were always so perfect and so beautiful with their little smiles, and they would talk to me. She was always with them, and maybe she was with someone else and holding their baby. And always outside the locker room, I would make sure I said hi to Vanessa and check in with Vanessa and see how everything was going. It was the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Foundation together. They did it together, and Kobe made sure of that they were together. So, and this is her Gigi. This is for many, many years before she had the two younger ones. This was her baby for many, many years. And so I can't. I know when she posts and when they post how she says it's my heart. And she says that about all of her children. This is my heart. And she puts that picture out of them. I can't imagine losing Kobe, but to lose a daughter like that, how she just wants to hug the other three so closely and be next to them. And Christine, I'm sure you saw. I mean, Christine, I remember with you and I were somewhere together, and Kobe walked in the room, and he just lit up when he saw you, and he came over and gave you a big hug. Yeah, he was just always so kind to us. I know that other members of the media maybe didn't have that same experience, but I think we
having a good time, and next thing you know, you just see a helicopter fly by, low, like kind of losing control. 2 minutes later, you hear that, you know, a great legend was in the helicopter, and it's insane. You know, a lot of the people, you know, in the community of Los Angeles